Hello everyone, this is PillMuse. Today, I want to give you a complete rundown of everything you need to know about flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines for the 2025 to 2026 fall and winter season. We'll cover who should get which vaccines, when and where you can get them, and most importantly, those insurance and cost questions that everyone's been asking about. By the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of what seemed like complicated vaccine information, and you'll be able to create the perfect vaccination plan for yourself. There's one key principle I'll be emphasizing throughout this entire video, and it's this. Flu vaccines every year, COVID with the latest version, RSV for eligible people just once. Please keep that in mind. Not too long ago, a 76-year-old patient named Linda came into our pharmacy. She'd gotten a notification on her grandchild's daycare app saying there had been cases of respiratory virus infections, and that really spooked her. She'd gotten her flu shot last year, but she was wondering,
do I need to get this every year?
And with COVID, she was confused about.
I heard there's a new shot out this year. Do I need to get that too?
And this thing called RSV that she'd first heard about last year.
Does this even apply to me or not?
She just couldn't wrap her head around it, and it was making her feel overwhelmed. Linda happened to be out grocery shopping when she saw our fall vaccination poster in the pharmacy and asked for a consultation. This is how pharmacies in America have really become neighborhood vaccination centers. You can come in to shop for groceries or pick up your prescriptions and get your vaccines right there. It's incredibly convenient. At major chain pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens, you can easily book appointments online or through their apps, or you can just walk in without an appointment and usually get vaccinated right away. But you might be wondering, how can pharmacists give shots? Well, it's thanks to a special law called the PrEP Act that was enacted during the COVID-19 pandemic. This law dramatically expanded pharmacists' vaccination authority at the federal level, and that authority has been extended through 2029, which is why we have this convenient system today. Of course, the detailed regulations vary a bit from state to state. Some states allow pharmacists to vaccinate very young children, while others have stricter age restrictions. While these state-by-state regulations exist, most adult vaccinations can be conveniently received at pharmacies in any state. Now let's go through the most important medical facts one by one. First, let's talk about the flu vaccine. This one's simple. Anyone 6 months and older needs to get it every year. But there was a really interesting change this year. All flu vaccines switched from quadrivalent 4-strain to trivalent 3-strain. This is actually a pretty straightforward update. While the old quadrivalent vaccine protected against 4 types of flu viruses, the new trivalent vaccine precisely targets the 3 types of viruses expected to circulate this year. This isn't a downgrade in vaccine performance, it's actually a victory for global health. The B/Yamagata strain that was included in previous vaccines has essentially disappeared. This is an amazing success story of humanity nearly eradicating a virus through vaccination. And for adults 65 and older, it's better to get high-dose vaccines or vaccines with immune enhancers that are specially developed to boost immune response. Also, for those who are afraid of needles, nasal spray vaccines that you can self-administer became available this year. Next is the COVID-19 vaccine. Like the flu vaccine, this gets updated every year to match virus mutations. This year's version was developed to target the latest subvariants like LP.1. So who should get it? Basically, annual vaccination is recommended for most adults, but it's especially important for high-risk groups like adults 65 and older, immunocompromised individuals, or those with chronic conditions. For these groups, depending on their individual health status, they might need 2 shots per year. Because it's not a everyone gets it situation like the flu vaccine, and the recommendations and frequency vary based on age and health status, I think this is why many people find it confusing. Finally, there's the RSV vaccine. The most important thing to know is that this is not an annual shot. So who should get it? Target groups are clear: all adults 75 and older and high-risk adults between 50 and 74 who have underlying conditions like chronic heart disease or lung disease. According to current recommendations, eligible individuals only need to get it once. Based on clinical trial data so far, protection appears to last about 1.5 to 2 years after vaccination. However, we've also seen that protection gradually decreases over time. Since RSV vaccines haven't been around very long, we still need to wait and see how effective they'll be in the real world during the second year. So many people ask,
do I need to get it again in 2 years?
That's a great question. The bottom line is, there are no clear guidelines yet for booster shots. Because RSV vaccines are relatively new, we need more long-term data for years 3, 4, and beyond. Health authorities like the CDC are continuously analyzing data, so we'll probably see new recommendations in the next few years about whether boosters are needed and when to get them. As you can see, flu vaccines are for everyone, RSV is for specific conditions, and COVID falls somewhere in between for most people, so it's totally understandable that patients get confused. That's why consulting with your pharmacist is so important. All this complex information leads to various misconceptions. Let me clear up a few things for you. The most common question I get is,
do I need to get RSV every year too?
No, you don't. As I mentioned earlier, eligible individuals only need to get it once for now.
Is it okay to get multiple vaccines at the same time?
Yes, it's perfectly fine. The CDC recommends simultaneous flu and COVID vaccination, and you can get the RSV vaccine at the same time too. We usually recommend getting them in different arms, and after vaccination you'll stay in the pharmacy for about 15 minutes to make sure there are no adverse reactions. And there's this rumor that mRNA vaccines change our DNA. That's absolutely not true. mRNA cannot enter the cell nucleus where our genetic information is stored, and it naturally breaks down within a few days. Hundreds of millions of people worldwide have received these vaccines, and their safety has been thoroughly proven. So how did I actually guide a patient like Linda? Let me remind you once again of our key principle. Flu vaccines every year, COVID with the latest version, RSV for eligible people just once. The best time to get vaccinated is in September or October, before viruses really start circulating. Why September or October specifically? There are two important scientific reasons. First, it takes about 2 weeks for our bodies to build a complete defense system after getting vaccinated to fight viruses. Vaccines are kind of like military training. You need preparation time before your trained elite forces can be deployed to the actual battlefield. So you need to finish vaccination before viruses really start becoming active, so you'll be perfectly prepared when flu season arrives. Second, it's the optimal timing considering how long vaccine protection lasts. If you get vaccinated too early, say in July or early August, the protective effect might start wearing off by the time viruses hit their peak in the dead of winter. On the flip side, if you wait too long until late November or December, you might find yourself unprotected during the early part of virus season. Therefore, getting vaccinated in September or October is the smartest strategy. You're preparing a strong shield before virus season and keeping that shield strong throughout the coldest winter months. You don't need to worry about costs. Through Medicare Part B, you can get flu and COVID vaccines for free, and since the law changed in 2023, RSV vaccines covered under Medicare Part D also have a $0 copay. Most private insurance plans cover the full cost of preventive vaccinations too. When I explained these principles to Linda, her face lit up. It was that aha moment when complex information suddenly became clear. Linda got her flu and COVID vaccines that same day, one in each arm, and after confirming she was eligible for RSV vaccination, she scheduled to come back the following week. That night, both her arms started aching and she developed a mild fever. When she actually felt these symptoms in her body, Linda started worrying.
Should I not have gotten them both at the same time? Are these serious side effects?
And she had trouble sleeping. The next morning, Linda finally felt relieved when she got a text message from the pharmacy. The text served as a helpful reminder of what we discussed. Mild fever and arm pain after vaccination are normal immune responses, so don't worry. If you're uncomfortable, you can take acetaminophen. Reading this, Linda suddenly remembered our conversation from the day before. Of course, the pharmacist had explained all of this. Following the text advice, Linda took an acetaminophen and got some good rest. By afternoon, her body felt much lighter. The arm pain had subsided too. For Linda, this was more than just recovery. She'd experienced firsthand that understanding your body's reactions with accurate information and dealing with them properly really does work. This small success gave Linda tremendous confidence. The following week, Linda returned to the pharmacy without any worries and completed her scheduled RSV vaccination. Furthermore, Linda has now become an information messenger at her senior center book club and church gatherings, accurately sharing this information with other friends.
You need to get flu shots every year, and COVID with this year's version. If you're over 75, you should get RSV,
she says. Unlike her anxious past self, she's now playing a role in reassuring others. Let me go over today's content one more time. Flu vaccine should be gotten annually by anyone 6 months and older, and if you're 65 or older, prioritize high-dose vaccines. Also remember that starting this year, we switched to Trivalent vaccines. COVID vaccines should be updated formulations for each season. They're recommended for most adults, and if you're 65 or older or in a high-risk group, you might be able to get 2 shots depending on your individual situation. RSV vaccines are for people 75 and older or high-risk adults between 50 and 74. For now, you only need to get it once, and protection is expected to last about 1.5 to 2 years. The most accurate approach is to visit your local pharmacy, consult directly with a pharmacist, and create a vaccination plan that's right for you. Did today's video help you? In the not-too-distant future, there will be combo vaccines that prevent both flu and COVID with a single shot, so I'll be back with new updates when that happens. Thank you. Here's what I always tell my patients. Health isn't everything, but without it, everything is nothing. Subscribe, like, turn on notifications, and keep watching this channel. Every bit of knowledge brings you closer to taking control of your health. And if you'd like to see an alternate version of today's video, featuring different cuts of the visuals used, check out my Patreon. It's all there for curious minds. Just follow the link in the pinned comment,